My name is Stel Barami, and this is the Gifts of Connection speaker series to inspire, rediscover, and reignite meaningful connection in your life. Each session, we meet with a leader who crafts and creates meaningful connection in their life and their communities as well. Today, we're meeting with Tiffany Persons. Tiffany is the founder of 3 businesses, Tiffany Company Casting, Shine on Sierra Leone, and she's also a film producer. Tiffany was recently appointed the Director of Empathy at the advertising agency David and Goliath. Tiffany is also the single mother of 5, and she is a deep lover of life. Tiffany, thank you so much for joining us and welcome.
It's wonderful to be here and to be with you.
Can you tell us a bit about yourself and how it is that you came to do what you do with all 3 businesses, perhaps how it is that you came to be in the place you are in your life as well?
Yes, so that's a very big question. However, we'll start by saying I'm where I am because I have been brave enough to follow my heart and been brave enough to focus my life on inner development and the inner work that I need to do as a person. And it has just impacted everything around me and kind of informed my path and created my path in life. So for casting, I started casting just by kind of a happenstance. I had a friend who was a casting director, and I at the time was raising money to go to Sierra Leone to film my first documentary that followed the path from the earth of a diamond, from the earth all the way to the consumer, and document different lives they would touch along the way. And I didn't have much money, and she said, you know, you can come work for me in casting. I had never done anything like that before, and immediately I fell in love with this idea of casting and people sharing their stories, and real people casting was what I fell into. That was just incredible. And turned out to be that I was naturally built for it and fully devoured what it meant to go out into the world and search for stories and people that hold those stories and bring them to light through products and brands and advertising. It's like the coolest thing that you can do in advertising, the most heart-centric thing you can do in advertising, for sure.
Yeah, that really sounds like a very unique way to do casting. Mm-hmm. I can say myself, the casting companies I'm familiar with aren't doing real people casting. So that sounds really unique.
Yeah, it's its own niche, and it's really special. And for those of us who do it, we have to love it. You know, you have to be a lover of people. If you do it well, you are a lover of people. And then Shine on Sierra Leone was also just by happenstance. I've always wanted to be a documentary filmmaker. I love people. And there was an opportunity to tell the story of, at the time, diamonds. This was 2005. And there was a war going on that had just, when I started this project, it was around 2000, and the war in Sierra Leone was still happening, right? And so I wanted to share the story of where diamonds actually come from, because this was during the bling bling era, and when we really hadn't talked about publicly about diamonds and where they come from, and that, you know, people work for $1 a day to unearth 16 tons of earth remove 16 tons of earth to get to the layer of diamonds. So that in itself was the story that I wanted to tell. When I got into the village, well, first of all, when I got off the plane, my hair stood on end and I felt like I was home. And I found myself living in this diamond mining community for 3 months, falling in love with the village. And there was a school in the middle of the village that was a roofless building that had 100 children gathering each day to learn, that were taught from 5 volunteer teachers. And rain was pouring through the ceiling. Their hands were fully outstretched, paying attention to the teacher, shouting out answers. And I always say I'd never seen a thirst for knowledge, a true desire to want to learn. And when I saw that, I decided that I wanted to dedicate my life to making sure the children in this village had access to an education. And that was the birth of Shine On Sierra Leone. I came back home, started to raise money, and that's the story of how that was born.